All right, y'all. I don't know what was happening there with my system. I kept hitting, add me to the stage, add me to the stage, and it was acting up. But listen, it's Friday night, y'all. I'm gonna take this old school. Y'all remember that song? You gotta be listen. It's Friday night. I think it was Just Got Paid, something like that. Well, listen, I hope y'all all paid out there and y'all ready to have this discussion with me. Friday night trending topics. I'm glad you're in the building. You're a passenger, so hit the like button because that's your ticket on this train. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Listen, our topic tonight is, or our title tonight is, what's going on? What's going on? And what's going on? Because Kevin Hart, ex-assistant, she went over there, ran her mouth to Tasha K. Listen, I ain't mad at Tasha K. The people love to speak to her. Yes, they do. They love to sit at the table, become a wino, sit there, sip their wine. And when they sip their wine, they tell all their good business. Yeah. So the ex-assistant, thank you, Latanya. The ex-assistant, she went over there to Tasha K. She got the run in her mouth about the time she was spending with Kevin Hart, what she knew about his infidelity allegedly and all this, and this one having a baby, not having a baby, blah. She just told it all. She did. And so her mouth wrote a check that her butt couldn't cash because now he's suing her because she had an NDA. So now she wants the courts to throw out the NDA because she said she signed it under duress. She had mental health issues when she signed it. Girl, you a day late, a dollar short, you stupid. And I don't get, here's the thing. What did she really get out of telling Kevin Hart's business? What did she get out of that? She got herself a lawsuit. That's what she got. But other than that, it was already rumors on the street about what Kevin Hart does and doesn't do. Listen, he divorced the first wife. I mean, 1 and 1 usually equals 2, at least when I was doing math coming up when I went to school. So she wanted to come up there to Tasha K, told how, Kevin Hart is allegedly unfaithful to his wife, and the wife knew, and the wife ain't going nowhere, this, that, and the other. And what did it get her? It got her in a whole lawsuit now that she thought she was broke before the lawsuit. Well, she really broke now. Just stupid. What's going on in her head? Where's her friends, her family? What was she thinking? And Tasha K said she don't pay for interviews. But let's pretend she paid her $5K. Girl, you blink your eyes and $5,000 is gone. Before somebody get me to turn to my eyes, you got to be starting at maybe $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Other than that, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because by the time you pay 5 bills with you for $5,000, your money is gone, and you did all of that for what? We're going to talk, people. Let's talk tonight. It's Friday night. We're going to have us a conversation. Friday night. We're going to chat. Yes, we are. So then we got Beyonce and Jay-Z. I know they're your fave couple. I know the Beehive don't want nothing. Nobody say nothing about Beyonce. I did a story, I think it was this week, with Tina Knowles. Mama Knowles, the brother, her son-in-law, and her daughter got money for days, and she got a mansion on the beach over there falling to pieces. But I'm going to leave Tina alone because this ain't Tina tonight. This is Beyonce and Jay-Z. So the people saying ever since Diddy got into his trouble, they going dark. Ghost, AWOL, we can't find them. Somebody put out an APB on Beyonce and Jay-Z. They've been friends with Diddy for decades. Let me say this, and this is me doing 1 and 1 equals 2. This is not me putting 20 on 10. If you got a friend and they throw parties every weekend, and at the parties, the people are stripping, they doing cocoa, They doing this with Mary Jane. They swapping wives. They sleeping with the go-go dancers. You got a friend throwing those type of parties. After you go to one and you see what it's all about, maybe you go to the second one because maybe you be like, oh, that night they just got wild that night. It ain't always like that. But by the time you go to party number 2, you already know what's good. And maybe you end up at party number 3. 3 strikes you out. I'm good. I'll see you next time. I see you when you just going to the restaurant to have some chicken and biscuits. So you like, Diva, what are you saying? Birds of a feather flock together. And everybody that was messing with Diddy, they're trying to lay low. And they're trying to lay low because they don't want their name to come up, because they know at some point and sometime during those, 3 decades, because he's been throwing white parties since for how long? He started out in the Hamptons, then it went on to his Miami house, allegedly, in the LA home. You see what Cassie said in her own lawsuit. That man couldn't allegedly seem to live without having a freak off. He couldn't wait. She was trying to celebrate her birthday. He couldn't even let her celebrate her birthday. He's like, let's go. It's time to have a freak off. And you know, to this day, sometimes in the summer, I always wear, like, I do the same. I do a lot of the same. I always wear like black French when I go get my nails done. But every now and then in the summer, I used to like to get, you know, the little white color on my nails and my toes. Now I'm scared. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want it. Walking down the street, y'all think I'm ready to participate in a freak off? No. So we're going to talk Beyonce and Jay-Z going dark. Jay-Z got up on that stage, acted a whole fool, did that long speech. My wife never won album of the year, and by your own standards, she should have won. It doesn't make any sense. So Beyonce takes her time, does a whole country album, because she figures she goes in a different genre, she will win album of the year. She dropped it. It buzzed in, and as soon as the album buzzed in, it buzzed on out the door because she wasn't doing no promotion, nothing. So how does she think she gonna win album of the year and she don't have feet on the ground promoting it? But she not promoting it because they don't want to get caught up in this Diddy scandal. But listen, I'm trying to get a hold of that darn lawsuit that just came out because allegedly there's other names in there. I got to see for myself. We're going to talk about it when I get my hands on it. But they named Jacob the jeweler. And it's Tamika. And the latest person that's suing Diddy, she want Tamika to talk. But Tamika got it zipped. But see, I told y'all here this from the beginning. These people don't want to talk because they will be implicating themselves. And I don't know how many immunities is the state ready to give out. You want to let 200 people get off so you could catch one man Diddy? Does that make sense? This chick alleging that Tamika was part of the ringleader. But see, I told y'all in the beginning that his hands were clean. Clean in the sense that he always had somebody else doing the dirty work. Diva, you go get the dancers. Diva, you pay the dancers. And Diva, bring them back to my mansion and put them in that room over there. He was a slick gangster. Yeah, he's a mute. He better sing like a bird. He's slick. But you know, it said that his daddy was old school gangster. And although he never met the daddy, because they said the daddy, Diddy's daddy died when he was 3 or something like that. He never met him, but it's in his blood. It's in his blood. So instead of allegedly Diddy being on the streets being a gangster, he was an entertainment industry gangster. We're going to talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z, though, acting like they don't know their friend. Probably blocked this number. But see, one thing they should know about their friend was like R. Kelly, allegedly seen to like to tape everything. So you running scared and you hiding because you don't know what he has or doesn't have. So then I thought about it last night. I said, maybe he won't run out of money because maybe some of his friends that was partying with him may slip him some money, be like, just don't say my name. We're going to talk about it. What's going on? That's what we're talking about tonight on Friday night. Then there's a sad story out of New York. This guy was a sober coach. He had addiction problems. He recovered from addiction problems. He became a coach to help people that had addiction problems. He even wrote a book. He wrote the blueprint. Ain't it something when people love to have answers, but then when their situation come up, they don't even follow their own advice? This man wrote a book saying how he wanted to help others learn how to keep themselves alive and not kill anybody else. And this man plowed into a whole group of people on the 4th of July. As of this moment that I know of and I last read, 3 people are gone. Unalive 3 people. And this was a community out there, I want to say in Brooklyn. A community. You know, I grew up in the Bronx. I always grew up in buildings in the Bronx. And we was a community. People looked out for each other. And you know, in the suburbs, when they would go do their 4th of July parties in their backyards, we would do it on the cement in front of our building. Somebody in the building be like, okay, I'm going to get the grill. Everybody contribute some buns, some hot dogs, some burgers. I'm telling a true story here. And you know what they used to do? And it was illegal. It was illegal. But you know what? How we used to do it? We said, go play in the water. What they would do was turn on the fire hydrant and let the water come out, and all the kids, we would just be playing in the water. That was some of our great summers. But everybody knew everybody. This so-and-so made the iced tea, the lemonade. You had somebody on that grill. We had fun. Yeah, Oscar Mayer. Yes, Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Come on now. Come on now, TM Christian. You understand what I'm talking about? I promise you, we turned on the fire hydrant. Then eventually, you know, the fire department or the police would come and they shut it down. We still had a good time, though. And then somewhere along in the night, the ice cream truck would come through. And you needed about 50 cents. Something like that. You didn't need a whole lot of money. And you get your ice cream cone. Mr. Softy, he used to come through. The truck. But now we got this man, sober coach, plowed his F-150 truck, mowed the people down. Mowed the people down. And he was a sober coach. Now, in this day and age where Uber, Lyft, a cab, the train station, a bus, or your own 2 feet, take your drunken behind and walk down the street, you're going to get behind the wheel. Families are destroyed because of this man. He plowed through a crowd. We're going to talk about it. But listen, guys, it's Friday night. I'm glad y'all spending some time with me this Friday. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, people, if you want to be a passenger on this train. Hit the like button because I'm about to load the train up and bring the people in. And y'all know what I need. Yeah, he was allegedly, we got to say allegedly, Mo. But yeah, he was drunk as a skunk. Allegedly. He's done. So thank you, Tay Tay. I see you did it for me. I need a Choo choo! Hold aboard, everybody. It is Friday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title tonight is What's Going On? We're going to talk Kevin Hart and his assistant. She made a big mistake, and she has a child. Oh, I appreciate you. Love you. She has a child. She made a big mistake, ran her mouth, and she signed the NDA. Just dumb, stupid, and both. Okay. We got Beyonce and Jay-Z. They hide it, trying to act like they don't know Diddy. We got pictures. Y'all known him since the beginning of time, and y'all was partying with him. But besides that, if you did want to hide it, Cassie put in her lawsuit saying that y'all saw one night Diddy put his hands on her. It's a mess. And we got the sober coach. Let me go ahead and bring the people on in. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Julius. Hey, E. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Tay. Listen, it's Friday night, y'all. We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into this story. First I'm going to deal with Kevin Hart's assistant. I feel for her in a little way, and then again, I don't. I'm just thinking, girl, let me say this to the single parents out there. If anybody could run their mouth, if you are a single parent, you definitely need to shut up, because tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. The healthcare insurance is on you. Feeding the kids is on you. So it would behoove you not to go on any job and act a fool unless you want to be hungry and starving at night. You and your kids. It just don't make no sense. Now she want to try to cry to the judge, talking about I was under duress when I signed it. No. We can't do that. Hold on now. Let me share this screen. Okay, it's coming through, but I'm gonna go ahead and start talking because I don't know why my computer being slow today. It would benefit me and my family. Kevin Hart's ex-assistant tells how he forced her to sign secrecy agreement, claims she did under duress in exchange for $90K. Well, you took it, yo, girl. Kevin Hart's ex-assistant reveals she signed a non-disclosure agreement after she ended her employment with the comedian, and claims she did battle. According to In Touch, Sheikh submitted in court that she signed the NDA after she stopped working for Hart. However, she claimed she was suffering mental health issues at the time. Last year, Hart sued YouTuber Tasha K and Yilin Entertainment, accusing the pair of defamation following an interview with Shakes. The comedian alleged the former assistant violated her NDA by speaking about her employment with him in the interview, which was shared across Tasha's social media platforms. According to the NDA, which was submitted in the lawsuit, Hart agreed to pay his former assistant $30K per year for 3 years and provide health insurance. And for Shakes, she was prohibited from speaking about the comedian or things she learned while working for him. The NDA further prohibits Shakes from exploiting Hart without consent. So, his Hart's ex-assistant has now hit back in a new court filing in which she alleged at the time of signing the NDA, I was suffering from significant mental health issues and was under considerable financial distress due to my unemployment. Hart was fully aware of my ongoing health and a critical need for health insurance and funds, as I could not afford health insurance or my prescribed medication, she claimed. At the time I executed the NDA, I was not aware that it included a confidentiality clause, as I was told by Hart that it was simply a mutual release and it would benefit me and my family. In his lawsuit, Hart claimed his team was informed of Shake's interview by with the YouTuber by an unidentified associate of Tasha before the interview was released. Hart claimed the associate said he could pay $250,000 to prevent the interview from being released and deleted. The comedian refused to comply and called the police, as well as contacting his legal team to have a cease and desist sent to Tasha. Despite the legal warning, Tasha went forward with posting the interview with Shakes. So, as a result, the assistant is being sued also. Leo, what are your thoughts?
I find it foolish. It's a bunch of foolishness. This Miss Shakes, she must want to be a glory hound. She must want to be on the YouTube streets. Maybe she trying to do some social media fame for 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know what would drive her to do this, because from everything that I just heard you read, she was compensated. It's not like though the chef and the personal assistant and all these people that work for Diddy that was kicked out with not a dollar. She was compensated for 3 years and got health insurance paid for 3 years. So it would have been advantageous for her to keep her mouth shut. All this stuff about, I was under duress, perhaps she was. And I look forward to see how she gonna prove that in the court of law. Maybe she was under some mental health stress, but it was not a good idea after you got compensated, after you left, because she ain't saying she did not earn a fair wage when she was there. What she's saying was something was going on with her mental health. Then on top of that, what you read in the end is that I'm not quite sure who it was that contacted the Hart team to try to get $200,000. I don't know if it was Tasha K or the assistant, not for the information to come out, but the assistant need to get sued right along with Tasha K, because that is extortion. So she jumped into a bed of trouble that she ain't gonna be able to let go of for a very, very long time. She knows she ain't got no money, so how you gonna represent yourself in the court of law? I don't understand how you thought you was gonna get anything good out of this. Nothing. I don't see what benefit other than 5 minutes of some YouTube fame was she gonna ever get out of this. So good luck.
Yeah, good luck, right? In my opinion, you're up.
Well, Diva, I think we all told her in the first place. She had an NDA. She didn't listen to the NDA. Hey, we ain't got nothing else to say.
That part, that's it, and that's all right. I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and happy Blessed Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. So I was a little confused here, Diva. So I went back to the article because something wasn't clear to me. Okay. So when she's given this NDA, is at the end of her employment?
Yes.
Okay. And so this agreement was $30,000 a year plus her benefits.
Right.
For 3 years, correct?
Right. Yes.
But then she said she was under duress because she was going to be unemployed and didn't have health insurance. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong here. I mean, I agree with opinion, and I do recall when we were here the first time that we said, no, you should have just remained silent, honored the agreement, and keep it moving. And she didn't. But now I'm this piece of, I was emotionally under duress and all this stuff. I wonder what happened to the money. So that would have been $90,000.
I think the 90,000 is the 30, because if you do 30K over 3 years, that's 90K, right? I think that's the 90,000 she's saying she was offered. The 30,000 per year for 3 years, and then her health benefits.
So it sounds to me like he had compensated her fairly well for her job, like Leo says. So her severance package was $30,000 for every year she worked, because she worked for him from 2017 to 2020, all through the pandemic, and he kept her on the insurance. So I agree with Leo again. She must have been looking for 5 minutes of fame, and it's gone very badly for her. So she's going to have to pay. Yeah, she's got to pay now. That's it.
Yes.
She probably will never get hired by anybody else in that industry.
At all. At all. I think we should weigh you up.
Well, she took this as an opportunity, as a money grab, like a lot of them. And to go back and say that it was under duress that you signed it, you should have told it, you should have brought that up back then. Because it means nothing. Right. It's like a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. It means nothing because you say you under duress. You said it. You don't know one that said it. No doctor said it. There's nothing in probably her medical records that she spoke to somebody about it. I'm going through some things with this, you know. So she has nothing to stand on. All she did was created a big problem for herself. And she ain't got no money. And then she goes to run to Tasha K to tell Tasha K, I mean, if this was such a big issue, or you know, you should have sought a lawyer first. Because like all these people, I don't know why, they go to social media first and then get a lawyer. It's like backwards. You know, so they didn't just, you know, screw themselves. I mean, I don't feel sorry for it because, you know, these people have options. Okay. She probably wanted to be up there with the, you know, with the cloud chasing and all that. And it ain't what it seemed. And like I said, I think she saw opportunity. You know, Cassie started the whole thing. And when Diddy paid her off, like they said, here come the lawsuits. And people's like, hey, I'll take a chance if I can get some money. That's it.
I guess they sure did. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm gonna say is these people are idiots. Why in the world would you go to Tasha K? Simply because the reason is Tasha K trying to make that $4 million. She don't care about y'all. She just want the interview. They run their mouth at Tasha K. Or do they realize that when they do that interview with Tasha K, it's gonna be shown, and it's shown when she did the interview that you weren't under distress. The only time that you can get out of a contract, mostly time, if you was under the influence when you signed it. But you're stupid. You went over to Tasha K of all people. Tasha K don't care. Tasha K trying to pay off that $4 million. So she gonna do all types of interviews. And that's the sad thing about it. And they fire right over there and give Tasha the exclusives, as she said. Get them exclusives. Now you and exclusive yourself into a lawsuit. Now see if Tasha K gonna help you out of that. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you. E, you're up.
Hi. So, you know, I hope this comes out right. You know, for those who get it, just ride with me. $30K a year is not a livable salary, in my opinion. When this young lady says that, you know, she was struggling with mental health, she was having money problems, she was out of a job, she was about to be out of health insurance, I can understand how that can feel like pressure to someone. So getting a servants package of $90K, and this is supposed to be for 3 years, you know, that sounds good. I think it could carry her for a year and a half, but by the sound of it, I doubt much of it is left. The issue I'm having here is she's intentional with her wording as far as this mental health crisis, and by her stating that she was in fear, or you know, she was in a panic because she was about to lose her health insurance, and so this is why she signed it. I think it's worth listening more to, but I'm going to piggyback off of Katrina. You know, I remember when we talked about this story the first time, and I remember when Kevin sent the warning shot, don't do this, or you know, I'm going to come after you with in the court of law. And Tasha said, no, I talked to my people. We're all good. And Tasha specifically said, and if I am incorrect, someone correct me in the chat. I remember Tasha saying, she's good. that is not enforceable. I felt like Tasha gave the young
No,
lady.
Tasha said she was good. Tasha didn't say she was good. Tasha said she was good because he was gonna sue Tasha K and her. Tasha K said I ain't do nothing.
So Tasha did not. Okay, so thank you for that. So I was under the wrong impression. Either way, if Tasha said that she had the green light, but she knew that this woman would still be held liable, I hate to say it, and I do feel like Tasha has some responsibility in this. I do. As a woman who has invited someone into your home to do this interview, who is none the wiser, because if this young lady has no idea of the legal ramifications of her actions, Tasha, you just got out of a lawsuit with Cardi for inviting someone on, and clearly Tasha was unaware of the legal ramifications that would cause. So why would you turn around and then inflict that same type of harm to someone else, another woman, albeit another Black woman, and potentially ruin her life and her family? I think that's a bit harsh, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I hear you, E. But see, there's a lot of people when they lose their job, they don't get no severance package. And if you ever lost a job and you had to pay COBRA, that's what you would have to. They call it COBRA when you have to continue your health insurance that your employer was giving you. Oh, COBRA will knock you off your feet. It's like a mortgage payment. So
I know that
for her, go ahead.
I know that COBRA is expensive, but the thing is, I'm still putting the onus. This person who is blinded by lights and clicks and views, and I'm talking about the person who did the interview.
Mm-hmm.
If this is new to her, and it can be intoxicating getting in front of the camera thinking you have a story to tell, and all of these people are bigging you up, and they want to hear the tea. The person who is the professional here is Tasha. She's the one who knows what this is. She knows that this story is going to be hot for a day or two, and then we're on to the next viral thing. She knows that she had just been in court for a year. She knows how expensive that attorney was. So I still feel like, as a diva, that's like me inviting you over and then say, hey, talk about this, knowing good and well you can't, and you'll be sued for $100,000. Diva, why would I put you in that situation? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.
Well, I don't get what you're saying, E, because let me tell you something. The first thing Tasha asked her, the first question was, you say you got an NDA. You not worried about being sued? She said, I checked with my attorneys. I'm good.
She sure did.
Sure did. I didn't see that. So thank you for that.
She said them exact words. But let me add this though too. See, I'm not going to be caught up in nobody's face doing nothing. You got to also research the people that you're about to go sit at their table with, right? So what I say that is, if somebody want to interview me and Vlad TV called me, I'd be like, no, thank you. Because all of these people, well, I can't say all, a lot of people that went on Vlad TV, they clinked up right now. Keefe D. But there were many others that they used his footage to get them clinked up and locked back in the jail. So before I go sit in somebody's face and let them have their mic in front of me, I would investigate who I'm sitting with. And Tasha K has said out her own mouth, her only loyalty is to her winos. So catch that. So before you go sit on her show, you better know that her only loyalty is to her winos and getting her winos a show they want to see. Julius, you're up.
She fluffed around and found out. Can everybody hear me? Mm-hmm. She fluffed around and found out. Now she finding out. That's it. That's all.
Thank you, Tay.
She knew what she signed up. You signed that paper, and now you face a concert. Lord have mercy. Well, that's your fault anyway. That's all, Diva.
Thank you, Tay. Mel, you're up.
Hey, Diva, how you doing?
Hey.
You know what? First, I was going to say thank you for painting that picture about the summertime fun, because when you said that, all I thought about was Big R, Western beef, and Key Food. But that was just to get. Cause I know you knew that place, so you get this. People running back and forth from the street going to the getting more ground beef. So that was like, wow, that took me back. You know what? I think that maybe the woman, this lady, she just should have just changed her mindset. I think that's probably the problem, because it feels like to me that if you're getting $30,000 a year, that's kind of what maybe celebrities give people as tips. It's basically like a tip. It's not a salary. I think E and somebody else said it's true. It's not in my mind. Even if they would put it as a salary in the document, I would say, oh, this is just a tip, because there's no way you can live on it. So if you're doing good work and you're really good at what you do, then you know what, you sit down, you have a little, you chill out a little bit, you use that tip money that you've gotten, and then you go back out and try to, solicit more work that you can do. I didn't see the problem there, especially if you have not been injured or you have not been, traumatically stopped in some way. Then okay, what's the problem? Just go out there and do what you love. So now you've got this tip money, which is about $30. For me personally, if I saw a salary, I would have rechanged that in my mind. I would have said, this is not salary, this is a tip. This is just him being generous to me and giving me 3 years of tips, basically. That's all. Because many people go deliver food to the Kardashians or whatever, and over a year they may get about 30,000 in tips. The way they give out those tips. So yeah, it's just a tip, and it's not a salary. So I don't see why she have to sue about that. I don't know.
Right? No, he's suing her. He's suing her because she went on Tasha K and ran her mouth about all his business, and he's saying she signed the NDA. So now she's trying to say she signed the NDA under duress. But girl, you done. You done. You messed up. You thought you was cute sitting on Tasha K telling this man's business, and now you got yourself caught up in a whole lawsuit that you can't afford as a single mother with your daughter. So all I can say is shame on you. Now listen, guys, as I'm talking.
And was she mad? I was going to say, I'm sorry. I was going to say, was she mad about the 3 year, the 30? She was mad about the 9,000, right?
No, when she talked in the interview, from the most I remember, she was really just telling his business.
Okay.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. She told she told Kevin Hart's business and check it. It didn't even move the needle on his popularity, his fame, or his money. He dropped about 4 or 5 movies after that. So it absolutely did nothing but give herself a burden and hardship.
Right.
And she claimed she was doing it in the wife's name.
That's what she claimed. That's what she claimed. Messy. Listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and move into this next story. And we might as well go ahead and get into Beyonce and Jay-Z. So y'all hold on. Don't be buzzing over here, okay? Because I got my spray. I ain't playing with y'all because we got to talk about it, all right? So here we go. Let's talk about this. Let me share this screen. So where's Beyonce? Music industry wonders at the Cowboy Carter success. And wait, hold on. Let me pause this. We don't need to see this. At the Cowboy Carter success, Diddy abuse scandal, insiders are wondering where are they at. Hold 'em, Cowboy. The music industry is on the verge of putting out a missing person report for Beyonce. Pay 6 years. With her once blazing album, Cowboy Carter, already going the way of the tumbling tumbleweed, Biz vets say the superstar has inexplicably gone AWOL. And insiders are mothering that it might be because she and her husband Jay-Z are nervous about showing their faces during Diddy's vast abuse scandal. Least they draw attention to their longtime friendship with the disgraced hip-hop mogul. They're going to be right there, okay? Come on, Cowboy Carter. I like the name. So, this was supposed to be Beyonce's time with her much anticipated country album out just 2 months ago, and yet she is nowhere to be seen. The album is slipping and J&B aren't releving in the spotlight, said a shocked source. About a month before the March 29th release, Jay-Z got up at the Grammys and whined that Beyonce never won Album of the Year. But now what? Does he think she'll win for Cowboy Carter with no promotion, no appearances, and no wooing of the Academy? The source added that while the stunning record, which includes tracks with Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, and Miley Cyrus, is far from a flop, it's definitely not the juggernaut everyone thought it would be. There they go with their friend Diddy. Hey, They added something that's going on. It came out with a bang, #1 everywhere. Now it and she have disappeared. There has been scuttlebutt in the biz that the golden couple of music are laying low with their pal Diddy under fire. His homes in LA and Miami were raided in March by the Department of Homeland Security, in which appears to be a sex trafficking investigation. The Blueprint rapper and Diddy have been close for decades. Though there is nothing to connect Jay or Beyonce to the investigation or any misconduct, rest for Beyonce did not talk back to TMZ. Leo, your thoughts? They hiding out? What's going on?
They slid up under rocks. You can move as many boulders as you want. You can't find them. I think it's a good move. You know, Beehive, don't come for me. But I will say this, right? As a girl who used to get her party on about 20 years ago, I used to be at everybody's set, all the parties, the clubs, the things. So there's a thing that happens when you a certain type of person. And just like Issei, follow me with this.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody do no lines of the Coca-Cola. I've never seen nobody pop no crack pipes, nothing. Like, I ain't never seen none of that. I've never seen that, and I party hard. The most I seen was the libations and the Mary Jane. That's every party I went to, and I went to all kinds of parties. So it is very evident to me that they are wrapped up tight in that stuff that went on with Diddy and the FOs, because if you don't go, you don't get invited to the parties where the FOs are going on unless you about that life. You don't, if you the pill popping party type of person, you don't get those parties. Probably went around or were around me a lot, but I never was invited to those parties. I never slipped in any of those parties. They were probably going on. I just wasn't there because I don't do that kind of party. Like you said, birds of a feather flock together, and they have been linked together for decades. For decades. Don't come for me. I'm just saying in my experience. You don't come buzzing around me because I'm just telling you. So they are very somewhere, somehow along the way, they know all about the dirty deeds, and they are staying low, which is what they should do, because they don't want to get implicated, and they should. But I don't know how long, because I just read the other day, maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, that Jay-Z is invoking into another mogul venture. He's buying something else. So he's on another.
I forgot what it is. I did hear that.
So Jay-Z is on a whole nother level than Diddy is at as far as making money. Diddy pretty much just licensed his name with Ciroc and Revolt TV. He had small partnerships with these companies, but Jay-Z is on a whole nother level of making money that he's trying to make sure he hold on to his empire, and Beyonce as well, because anything that Jay-Z get caught up in, especially with these parties that Diddy was having, she gonna get caught up in it too, because she was there as well. So that's what they did. That's what the legal team said. The legal team gave them the heads up to say, y'all need to go on an extended vacation, get y'all a yacht, because I'm quite sure they somewhere in the middle of the international water somewhere enjoying the summer with their children and their extended family and trying to stay low out this mess.
Yes. And so to all of those out there that's saying, let's not put them in this conversation. If you're familiar with me, I don't put nobody in a conversation unless I read it first. So not me, not Diva, the porn star that is suing Diddy said that Jay-Z and her had a relationship for a long time, allegedly. And he named Beyonce Shasha because of her. This ain't Diva putting 2110. I'm not putting them in something they ain't already in. They know him for decades and they in it. Okay. So let's carry on. In my opinion, you're up.
Well, if anybody remember that Cassie lawsuit, I remember Cassie saying one time when she got hit, Jay-Z and Beyonce was there. And Beyonce was the one that told him to talk to his friend.
So
here's the thing. predators hang together.
Oh my God.
Okay. Everybody done heard about him dating Foxy when she was 15 or 16. It's been speculated that he started dating Beyonce before she was 17.
Well, good gosh, you better talk to the people.
Let me tell you, people, nobody's trying to bring anybody down. We just saying what we know.
Yeah, that's it, and that's all. Let's talk about it. You know, that's how Diddy got away with this for so long, because everybody wanted to stay quiet. It's like, oh my God, we can't talk about certain people. Well, if certain people are in it, we need to talk about it, so maybe we'll save a soul. Felicia, you're up.
Okay, you know. So the question is, well, where is Mr. and Mrs. Carter, right? So they are up in the Hamptons. They've been up there about 4 or 5 days. They've been doing a little bit of a photo shoot and taking the kids out over there to learn how to swim and all that kind of good stuff. But it's my understanding, and it's now running in Vogue, that Michael Rubin had a big party last night. He had his own white party up there in the Hamptons.
I saw that. Come on, talk.
And can we talk a little bit about the guest list?
Come on, talk. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so on the guest list, we got Tiana Taylor, Khloe Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Megan Thee Stallion, Travis Scott, Gayle King, Quavo, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay and Bay, Tom Brady, Camila Cabello, Emily. I mean, I could keep going and going. But for those of you like me who've been on this train for the past 6 months, a lot of these names is popping out and they're not coming in too clean, are they? Most of these people have been told, we have been told they've been at a party, got caught up in a party, they got arrested, they were going to get arrested. So I'm like, oh, okay, so is this the new host of the white parties?
Come on now, you better talk. I saw that.
Well,
come on.
To me, allegedly, there's supposed to be some issue, some beef, some this with Drake and Kendrick, but Drake here, he's up there, and I mean, there's quite a few names that have been allegedly associated with the substances, with the freak offs, with the bad behavior. But we just got a new party host. That's all. Same location.
New host.
Same color party. Exactly. So I think that goes in support of what Opinion said. Birds of a feather flock together.
And I'm sorry, Felicia, I missed the first part. Who is the host?
Michael Rubin. He bought this and created this thing called something Fanatics, and he's a billionaire.
Money for days.
And he's got all of these celebs up there. I could I'll drop the story, the link in the chat. But
okay, thank you.
I read that story, and I said to myself the same thing you said. I said, "Oh, we need a new white party leader because because the king of the white parties is down for the count."
And you know, I think personally.
One more question. Who? Okay, Felicia. So, what persuasion is this Michael Rubin?
I think he's like beigey brown.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't really know. I don't know anymore. We're looking at people. But I think it's kind of disgraceful that they perhaps did not extend an invitation to Mr. Combs.
Are you going to stop playing?
Well, okay. I'm done, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to stop playing. I ain't playing with you tonight, Felicia. Julius, you out? Did I come to you? My screen shifted.
Yeah, I mean, these rumors been around for a minute. Especially about Jay-Z and how allegedly Beyonce had to be on the substances to be with him. Now that is allegedly. None of it is proven. Ooh, lawyers, boy, girl, yes. Where is Auntie Mary? Mary been missing for a minute.
Mary is not missing. Her whole boot line just came out and she promoted it and it's sold out.
Really?
Yeah, really. Check it out. Mary got a whole boot line that just came out. And when the boot first hit the scene, it sold out and they just replenished it. She out there.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to our main topic. Now, I'm pretty sure, now let's just say this, Julius, Beyonce's bodyguard, probably like, ma'am, you gonna stay over here, and yeah, sir, you gonna have to figure out whatever else is you gonna do, so, yeah, figure that out. But if you fluff around, you gonna find out. They probably put the threat out on them. Now, that's just all me speaking in the conspiracy theories. I don't know.
Thank you, Julius. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
If Mary J. Blige made boots, it's because she's about to be running for her freedom too. If that indictment ever hits now, like Tay Tay say, choo choo and beat beat. Beyonce better be in Dubai, Russia, Afghanistan, China, Morocco, Andorra, or Dubai. Any of those places will suit her just nicely. Her and that Blue Cantrell Jr. This does not look good. And when Cowboy Carter first came out, Beyonce shut the country charts down. I want everyone to remember she dominated. I mean, everybody up here was singing the songs. Diva played it backstage, and we were singing the 16 Carriages.
Don't go there. Don't go there, please.
I beg your sweet
no, we
pardon.
were not.
And
no,
so,
yeah, I told her, have a time.
So everybody, including us up on this panel, we were all getting our life and singing the songs. And so remember, she even blew Usher's Super Bowl performance out of the water. She made him look like B2K. Beyonce, everybody was talking about this. And so, the next announcement that we were all waiting for was, when was she going to come out on tour? Because that Texas Hold'em was everywhere. All the white folks and black folks were doing their Texas Hold'em TikTok challenge. There was even this little boy at my daughter's school, when they had a recital, I walked past the auditorium and I heard him saying to another kid, "This ain't Texas." So, hey, shout out to little Aiden. Anywho, what I'm saying is, everybody of all ages were singing this song. So it was colossal. And so, like I said, this was act 2. So the next thing was supposed to be the tour, because we know this is how she promotes her music. Beyonce doesn't do radio interviews. She doesn't do TV interviews, and she doesn't do music videos. So the only way to promote is to tour. And, I don't know about you, Diva, but it's 102 degrees down south. So where is the tour? Nicki Minaj is on tour. Megan Thee Stallion, Candy and Escape, they're out here. Sierra and Missy, they just started their tour. So, this was when Beyonce was supposed to bring out all those black country artists that she got us listening to. We wanted to see all the country girlies on tour, and everybody. Diva, I know I saw you looking it up on Amazon. Diva was looking up her cowboy hats. In my opinion, was looking for her chaps. We were all getting ready to go out there and, be outside. And so I'm really concerned, because it seems like Beyonce is losing momentum as far as this record, especially if she wants album of the year. And I just saw Jay-Z earlier last month. He did a performance at some whites only event, and where they were drinking sparkling water out of champagne glasses and nobody was up dancing. I don't know if anybody remembers that. So, it's very, very shocking. And so I'm thinking maybe she has laryngitis, or, maybe it's another wave of COVID. They said it's another strain out there. So I'm
stop. Okay, I hear you. Go ahead, girl.
I'm going to step out on the limb and say that maybe maybe something else is going on mentally, because I can't see why she would let this opportunity pass by and not be on the road. I think it may be some trouble with her vocal cords. She's getting older, and our voices change when we get older. So I know I speak for everybody on the gray-haired diva train. We're sending prayers and love and get well soon wishes to Beyonce and the
Oh,
family.
girl, go
Good
back and
luck.
sue the union. No,
Diva,
you're
cut
not.
off the alcohol, okay?
Listen, everybody can have their opinion over here. Brooklyn 7 said, 07 said, I got your gossip needs when being met. Y'all just speculate. Brooklyn, we get that you are part of the Beehive, and I'm not mad at you. And somebody else said we making stuff up. Here's the funny thing to me is, right? It appears like until we see a video like the video that was shown with Diddy putting his hands on Cassie, everybody then like, oh, you putting 20 on 10, you speculated, you this, that, and the other. No, I could tell you about 5 different articles I read that said Jay-Z is pretty much a Diddy. There's a whole a girl out there, well, actually it's her friend, saying that, her girlfriend was allegedly the mistress to Diddy. And now she's not to Diddy, to Jay-Z, and was pregnant with his kid, and now she's not here no more. There's this kid out there.
Karen White.
Yeah. They come on, talk in my opinion. There's a young man out here now, been crying for decades, or a whole decade or 2 at least, or a decade and a half, saying that, Jay-Z is his daddy. So listen, the thing that we got to understand, we can like somebody and let the truth be the truth. Katrina, you up?
Tell him, Diva. You don't become no billionaire being good. Be for real. He's done some backhanded stuff too. He always have. Y'all forgot about Aaliyah. You know what I mean? He was mad because Aaliyah didn't want him, and him and Dame split up. They're a mess. And Beyonce, hopefully she's in rehab. Word on the street is she was on substance. We don't know that for sure, but that's the word on the street. And we saw how she was acting at that ball game like she was spaced out. So, I mean, they're not angels. They're still people. And yes, they was at the FO parties because they was tight like that. Diddy and Jay-Z and all of them was tight like that. Nas and all of them was tight like that. And like people think, Beyonce, yeah, she don't do interviews and stuff like that probably because she's spaced out. You don't really see her doing videos. One thing you do is see her singing and saying Sasha Fierce, something else taking over my body. Girl, I would never tell anybody that. But either or, word on the street, she was a pass around in Houston. Don't know how true it is. That's the word on the street. But either way, word on the street that she was in a relationship with Diddy. Pimp C had the tape. That's why Pimp C is not here no more. But like I said, those are rumors, but we all know what goes along in that world. So ain't none of them angels. I don't care how you go up for these people or say these people ain't gonna do this and do that. You can never say what a person not gonna do because you don't know that person. It's the same thing I would tell my child when people come say my child won't do that. You's a lie. You don't know what your child will do when you're not there. So it goes that way. If they're like Leo said, they're on a boulder, you can't find them. No, you can't find them because they was in that mess too. Ain't none of them innocent. None of them. And I'm not gonna play nice or whatsoever saying because Beyonce made a country music with cowbells. I'm not gonna be nice about that. So they all got their part. They all got their part. But y'all can comfort me. You don't comfort Diva, you can comfort me. But that's all I got, Diva. Bye.
I appreciate you. So black people always tearing black people down. Are the black people tearing Diddy down? Answer that for me. Are the black people tearing Diddy down? The black people always tear black people down. Wayne, you're up.
I listen,
Hey, Diva, what about the black women that they tearing down?
Oh, come on now, right here on the panel.
You better talk, opinion. You better talk.
These people sleeping and drugging your black sisters, but y'all okay with that?
Well, breaking news, Beyonce was not on drugs at the game that Katrina was referencing. She was devastated because Trump had just won the election and she was trying to cope. So, prayers for Beyonce.
I gotta get Wayne in the building. So, so we only tearing black people down when it's a black person that somebody else likes. Come on now. Just because you don't, because all the Jay-Z stuff is not on the ground yet. We go ahead, Wayne, get in this story.
I was going to say it's not fair to other artists as far as the song Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. It's not fair to other artists who work hard, who go out there promote their records, they do everything they're supposed to do, or that you need to do, for somebody like Beyonce come and sweep it just because she made the record, didn't do any promotion. And on the most part, with her husband, with what's his name? Her husband's name, Jay-Z, backing her. So other artists look at it like, well, hell, how could I ever win something if somebody like Beyonce, just because she make a record, and he think that she should have gotten record of the year? That's not realistic, So I'm glad she didn't get it. I like Beyonce, no problem with her. And the other thing is, this is an example, as far as both of them listening to their lawyers. Because silence is golden. When you start talking, the more you talk, the more you got to talk.
That's facts.
They're not saying nothing, so they're not answering it, and everything is speculation. So I think that whoever's counseling, but see, that's how people do. People who, I guess, who listen to their lawyers.
Right.
Not saying nothing, Okay. So, that's why, I see with them, they're not saying anything. They're going on about their business. And all everybody can do is speculate because they don't know anything. Mm-hmm. And they're not coming out trying to defend anything. So I think if they hold this stance on it, they'll probably be all right. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Wayne. Tay, you're up. Did I come to you yet?
No, ma'am. One, I did not like the power couple between her and JC when they had that title right there, because you know how that is right there, because everybody loves them when they are a power couple. And number two, I just don't like JC at all. I've never been a fan of his, never. But I love Beyonce song from the early days. And number three, I played the Legion, the field. I did not sing that song, the 16 carriage when they were playing at the backstage. Nope, I listened to it. Thank you, E. I still love you, anyway. So yeah, I'm just thinking the couple just live in the land, just don't have to worry about the problem. They just sweep it under the rug. One of these days it will come back to them. Like I said before, the fame and the fortune will come to you and bite you in the butt. It will hunt you down. That's all, Diva.
Okay, I appreciate you. Okay, wait, I gotta roll on to the next story, E.
I want to talk about that Lawson, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gonna yes.
Diva, I know you want to go to the next story, but I sent you the story. It has some great pictures of all the people.
I'll show that later. I want to roll into this next story because there's many pieces to it. Okay. So this next story, he was, like I said, this man was a sober coach. He did deal with addiction himself at one time. He recovered, went into remission, was a coach helping others, wrote a whole book. And on the 4th of July, when everybody was out in the neighborhood just celebrating, this man plowed through with his F-150 truck. And they said that thing is like 5,000 pounds. And it just devastated a whole community. So let me first play the news clip. Let me just see where I have it at. and then I'm going to go into the article.
The man accused of driving drunk and crashing into pedestrians on the 4th of July, killing 3 people.
CBS 2's Dave Carlin is live in Lower Manhattan, where tensions were high as the suspect arrived at the courthouse. Dave.
Dick and Jennifer, yes, the suspect is here at court, scheduled for night court, and as he was being brought here, there was a confrontation. On his way to court,
hey, what are you doing over here?
Daniel Hayden was escorted out of a precinct station house in handcuffs, and the 44-year-old's face was severely bruised and swollen on one side. And an angry, grieving group of victims' relatives shouted.
You don't deserve air!
Police say Hayden was driving the pickup truck that struck and killed 3 people and injured at least 8 others. The last thing 38-year-old Herman Pinkney and his 59-year-old mother Lucille ever did was celebrate the 4th of July together in Corlier's Hook Park at the end of Water Street.
I really hope that we can get justice for my brother and my mother.
Diamond Pinkney said his brother was his best friend.
Herman, I love you. I'm going to do you proud.
My cousin, he was happy, he was outgoing, he was funny. My aunt, you know, she loved her sons. They were really close.
This woman was identified as Herman's girlfriend, injured in the Thursday night crash and walking with a cane at the crime scene. Police said the driver was facing charges of aggravated vehicular homicide, assault, driving while intoxicated, and aggravated unlicensed operation of a vehicle.
From video surveillance, he's driving at looks like a high rate of speed. He goes right through the stop sign, right through the barricades, right through the fence where those people were.
And according to Hayden's LinkedIn profile, he works as a director for residential in-treatment programs and wrote a book titled The Sober Addict that was published back in 2020. Live in Lower Manhattan, Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
All right, thank you, Dave. We begin with.
Let me share another screen so we can go a little bit more into the story. I feel so bad for this family. The families, I'm going to say. So suspected drunk driver in horror Lower East Side crash that left 3 dead and a substance abuse counselor who wrote The Sober Addict. The suspected drunk driver accused of mowing down 11 people, killing 3 at a 4th of July celebration on the Lower East Side is a self-described addict who painted himself as a well-meaning substance abuse counselor and positive example for others struggling with addiction. Daniel Christopher Hayden, 44, wrote The Sober Addict, a book detailing his rock-bottom experiences with alcohol that he hoped would help save lives. But authority says his demons caused tragic deaths instead. I told him this would happen one day. I told him, his ex-girlfriend said, whom he shares a 12-year-old daughter, told the Post on Friday. This is shocking because he hurt people. The woman who asked not to be identified said he killed people. I'm so hurt over that. Alcohol was the reason the two of them split up, she noted. This is the devastating scene. That's him. Police believe Hayden got into a fight with a bouncer at a downtown bar Thursday night after he was refused entry for already being too drunk. Law enforcement sources said the bouncer agreed to refund him the ticket to the 4th of July party and sent him on his way about an hour before the deadly crash at a nearby Corlier's Hook Park, the sources said. Hayden was charged with aggravated vehicular homicide and other raps after he allegedly drove a grade 4 F-150 through the Water Street and Jackson Street intersection, over the sidewalk and into people celebrating a holiday in the park just before 9 p.m., according to police. The former New Jersey resident, who now lives in the Bronx, according to the neighbors, wrote The Sober Addict in 2020. The tome is billed as a practical guide on how to effectively live and cope with the dysfunctional lifelong disease of addiction. That is the book that he wrote right there. That is the cover. Within the pages of D.C. Hayden's book, addicts, family members, enablers, and helpers will find unconventional ways to combat addiction from onset to remission. The synopsis reads, the guide will help you learn how to function with this dysfunctional and chronic illness. That is a picture of him outside of like an accident, what you're seeing with him after being in the accident. In the book, he has at least 3 prior arrests in New York City and a long rap sheet that spans to Wisconsin. Describes himself as an ex-professional addict with over 18 years of use and abuse experience, and claims addicts don't choose addiction, addiction chooses them.
Indecisive.
I will let that play, this news clip, as soon as this ad passes.
And I hope things start to change. And I hope things start to change, you know, and I hope people start thinking about every time they go behind a wheel that you're taking lives. That Herman is young. He should have been raising his kids. Mm-hmm. He should have not been dead. His mom should have not been dead. And I hope we all get a lesson behind this.
What was the relationship like between Lucille and Herman?
With who?
With Lucille and Herman. What was their relationship like?
Mother and daughter. I mean, mother and son, and they were amazing. He was a loving son. She was a loving mom. You know, and it's sad. It is sad. They took something from this community that they could never give back. Life, once it's gone, that's it. There's no repairing. So it is truly sad. And I just pray that we do have justice. I pray. You know, Mayor Adams has to get up and do something. Or everything is blocked off. This is, you know, the only community we go here to barbecue, or we go to 12th Park to barbecue. But you're taking everything away from us, including the East River. Before we could go to the East River barbecue, right? Now we can't. So the community will go here to barbecue. Let's do something positive. Let's do something positive to make their lives count.
And they said there were hundreds of people out here. This was the neighborhood barbecue. This was the spot.
And this is, we always barbecue either here or 12th Park. This is, and it's always peaceful. This should have never happened.
And where exactly were you last night?
I was on 12th Park on the other side barbecuing, which is 2 blocks down. We have a lot of functions there and everything. And you heard the impact. It was the most horrifying thing ever.
What did it sound like?
It was like a big boom. It was like, everybody thought it was gunshots, but it wasn't. That's how the impact was. And that's the sad part about it. Again, we just lost a mother, father, an 11-year-old. That kid just started living his life. Why?
He was surrounded by a lot of his friends all the time. And my aunt, you know, she loved her sons. They were really close. And she worked hard to take care of her children. It's just a shock. You know, this was something we planned on throwing her a 60th birthday party in September. I'm just lost for words for the whole.
My passion is to help my addicted clients successfully move through the various stages of change to prevent their deaths, he wrote. Hayden also revealed he has taken many mugshots over the years. I go from intoxicantly happy to fight night bruise, to Tasmanian devil, angry to not having a hope in the world, depressed, he wrote in the book. Like many with my disease, my encounters with law enforcement and incarceration have been attributed to my use and abuse. Hayden went on to describe his stints in jail as humbling, demeaning, and even enlightening, and record that he felt a sense of finality when those metal doors clinked behind him. Well, he's going to spend the rest of his life behind there now. This is him, his mugshot, and this was after the accident. I had anxiety that I might not make it out alive, he wrote. Most addicts will eventually get locked up. It's almost like a rite of passage. There are more times I went to jail, the fewer times people helped me get released. His book on Amazon bios lists him as a substance abuse counselor, instructor, public speaker, and wellness advocate in New York City. His mission is to use his lifelong experience with addiction to teach addicts how to save themselves and achieve long-term recovery, it says. Hayden appears to have dedicated several years to educating himself on addiction and recovery, having obtained a master's in psychology and addiction counseling, according to the records from Aspen University in Denver, Colorado, which did not return a request for comment Friday. He also held several positions where he mentored other addicts and was most recently employed by Services for Underserved, a nonprofit organization based in Midtown Manhattan, as a program director. According to his LinkedIn profile, he started that job just 3 months ago. We are deeply saddened by the news of yesterday's tragedy. Our heart goes out to the victims' friends and family. As this is an ongoing police investigation, we are unable to comment further, a SUS spokesperson said in a statement on Friday. He has also recently worked as a counselor at Montefiore and an addiction clinician at Lincoln Hospital, which is part of New York City Health Hospitals. Montefiore could not be reached for comment on Friday. He worked for us fewer than 6 months in 2021. NY Health rep confirmed in a statement. Hayden held his head down and ignored questions about the deadly crash from reporters as officers walked him out of NYPD's 7th precinct on Pitt Street Friday afternoon. He also faces charges of driving while intoxicated and not for having a valid license, as well as 8 counts of assault in second degree, and was awaiting arraignment in Manhattan criminal court. Terrifying surveillance footage showed the truck barreling down the street with no signs of slowing down at the intersection just before the crash. The car jumped the curb and into a fence, which did nothing to stop it, sending sparks into the air as the vehicle hurled toward the family, the video shows. 2 of those killed were identified as Lucille Pinckney, 59, and her son Herman Pinckney, 38, who lived together near the crash scene. As the third remained unidentified Friday, the other 8 injured included Herman's longtime girlfriend Jessica and her 11-year-old son Jacob, who relatives told the Post was traumatized by the loss of his father figure. Hayden suffered a head and facial lacerations and was initially transported to Bellevue Hospital, police said. Also, as he was led out of the Lower East Side precinct, a Pinckney relative screamed at him, "You don't deserve air. My sister and my nephew, remember their names." Whew. This is a lot. Leo, your thoughts?
My God, I'm trying to process this one. Oh Lord, I pray for this community. I pray for these family members. I pray that God give them the strength that they're gonna need to be able to deal with this. Because it sounds like a very close community, and the devastation that's been brought upon this community is life altering. Lord, I'm trying to process. Give me a second here. Addicts, especially drunks, a lot of times, I don't doubt that this man had become sober, and it's always a strategy of addiction counseling that you are sponsored and counseled by other addicts. It is definitely one day at a time. They definitely go to, because I've had a very close relationship with someone who is an addict. You always are an addict. You can fall off the wagon at any time. And this is the worst situation for falling off the wagon. Because I saw in that article where the baby mother of the 12-year-old said, "I knew this would happen." And I know exactly what she's talking about. She knew him when he was a drinking monster and a drinking fool and would get behind the wheel of a car. Because I dated a guy that was like that too. He could not If you even tried to take the keys from him, he would fight you.
Wow.
Anybody, all the people. You couldn't convince him to get a taxi, a cab, nothing. He was determined at all times to be so drunk he could not drive in a straight line and would get behind the wheel of a car.
Wow.
And he sounds like, to me, he was drunk like that. He was one of them. He was already refused service at another establishment. So he consciously knew that he was too drunk to drive. And he drank anyway. And his worst nightmare has become a reality.
Ooh.
You had your chances to be sober, to preserve life. And now you have destroyed these people's families. And I do pray for them because they getting ready. They going through a lot and they're going to continue to go through a lot. I pray for this community. I really, really do.
And their happy time of barbecuing in that park is going to be forever changed. Forever changed. In my opinion, you're right.
Okay, so first of all, prayers go out to this family. It's really hard when you go out thinking, we just gonna celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
And something like this happens. So my commentary is gonna be to everybody that's listening.
Okay.
If you know somebody that's struggling with any form of addiction, mental health, whatever it is,
okay,
stick by them and get them the help that they need. It's too many of us leaving here because of addictions. It's too many of us leaving here because nobody checked on these people, made sure they was on the straight and narrow. If you have a heart in you, you see somebody struggling, do something. I don't care how many times it takes you. Don't give up on them. They ain't in their right mind right now. Don't give up on them.
I appreciate you, and I like that. Don't give up. I like that. E, you're up. E, you there? Did I lose E? Julius, you're up.
He fluff around. Now it's time for him to find out. He decided to be under the influence and be behind the wheel. He knows better. He a dang fool. He a big old dummy. And I hope those families who my heart breaks for and my condolences go out to get justice. And to anybody out there, if you had loved ones who you lost to a drunk driver, my condolences go out to you. That's it. That's all.
I appreciate you, Julius. Thank you so much. E, are you there? All right, let me roll over to Felicia.
Just deeply saddened. My condolences to all the families, all the friends. So unnecessary. This reminded me of when you did that Justin Timberlake story and all the people were giving him grace. What's the problem? Remember Gail? Yeah.
Oh, come on, dude. You bring it back, Felicia. Come on. Right. Uh-huh.
And this is why you don't give grace.
You
need people to just stop, not have the ability to drive. I mean, that's a very expensive vehicle. I don't even know how a sober coach, everything is an oxymoron to me here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really very, very saddened by all of the things that have happened. So unnecessary. I understand he went through one barricade and 2 fences.
Oh my God.
And then on the other hand, you have people, oh, well, he's such a good guy. What was that guy, Chris Cuomo? Why y'all up here? Why everybody talking about this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, This is why.
That part.
This is why. Because it doesn't start out at this level, but you get to this level.
Yes, come on, talk.
Right? So it starts out on a smaller level, maybe I didn't realize I drank too much, but I did okay then. I can drive. I could do this. No, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were reminded, when Opinion says, yeah, he was turned away from another establishment, got angry, and decided he was going to go run some people over and take some lives by, if he could, because that vehicle is over 5,000 pounds.
Ooh.
There were 7 people, human beings, pinned under that vehicle. It was the fire department that had to come, and they had to put those air jacks to lift that vehicle up to get those people out. A barricade and 2 fences. No, Grace, no. Take the keys, take the license. They shouldn't be doing any drinking and no driving. And I don't care if you're a nice guy like Justin Timberlake. I don't care. Situations like this tell you where we can go with this. Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. And Felicia, they said he didn't even have a license.
That's right, because he did this before in Wisconsin. He plowed down some people in Wisconsin. So this is what he does. This is his method of being angry. He uses his vehicles to take the lives of others. So and I know, I read the story. He has a very long criminal record.
Long criminal record.
So, they can send him off to Rikers. He can figure out whatever they're going to do. That's probably where he is right now.
And write another book from there.
Yeah, he could write one. What was it? The Unsober Living now, and I Ain't Driving No More. Yeah.
That part. And I'm never getting out of jail.
Right, and I'm never getting out of jail. And amen to that.
And amen to that.
Okay. I'm done.
Ex-girlfriend knew. She said, I knew this is where he was headed.
Right.
Don't even mention my name because I don't want my daughter or my son to be connected to this nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Katrina, you're up.
Okay. Condolences to the family. The thing of it is, he's that supposed to be a sober coach, and he knows that one drink was never going to be enough. Why wouldn't you put a device in your car that you can blow in, and if you over the limit, it won't crank up?
Come on
If
now.
you know you had that problem. And the second thing I want to know, where the place that the guy sent him away from, I know it's not his obligation, but I would have called the police and said somebody was out there drinking it. Well, a lot of people drink and drive, but if he was intoxicated the way he said he was, I would have called the police and let the police know that somebody's out here driving drunk. Maybe that would have saved some people's lives. He was over the limit because you won't even let him in your establishment. Yeah. And then he went out there and he mowed those people down. And the other people that he unalived, did he unalive the other people that he mowed down in Wisconsin, Felicia?
Well, only 3 have been announced dead so far. It was 11 total. And some of them were hanging on by a thread when I last read the latest article I read. But so far, only 3 have been pronounced.
I'm talking about before. Felicia says he unalived some people before.
I don't think so.
Oh, so they didn't. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, like how he got out of jail. But anyway, when he landed on that cot praying, looking up at the ceiling, now you can focus on your life because you have taken somebody else's life on your foolishness. You knew you had a problem. You should have never got behind the wheel. But like Leo and everybody would say, yeah, they think they can drive because they think they're invincible. And you went out there and really, really messed yourself up because, like I say, one is never enough because you're not going to stop at one if you're an addict. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going. And that's why they do the serenity prayers, and you're supposed to take one step at a time. But the sad thing about it is these family members are gone for no reason. You took their lives away. And how you think they're going to feel? You're living. So that's going to be another regret that you're going to have to give up to. And it's sad. And hopefully when he land in that cot thinking about the things that he have done, he's gonna kick himself in the butt saying that I should have stayed sober. But you can't make somebody stay sober if they don't want to stay sober. I don't care how much you go behind them. I don't care what you do. It's up to them. They got to make that decision because the decision can't come from somebody else. It got to come from them. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Wayne, you're up. And before you go, Wayne, I felt so bad for the brother. Oh, so bad for the brother that survived. Wayne, I'm sorry, you're up.
I would say, your heart just has to ache when something like this. I mean, how unfortunate. I don't want to say unlucky, but how unfortunate out of all the millions of people in the world, and this happens to you. You're out having a nice time.
Mm-hmm.
Your family. And I just can't get, it could have been any of us. Diva, you live in New Jersey. I mean, wherever you live at, any of us, something like that could have happened to any of us. It's just that moment, I just can't grasp my mind. And, and rest in peace to those people. But this is only my opinion. I don't think that man ever been sober.
Ooh.
I think all he did was play the system because he knew he would have been in jail. So you do all the right things. How many of us, you get a ticket, but if you go to driving school and take a driving course, you can get that ticket deleted. Okay, it don't mean that you took that little driving course or whatever that you're a better driver.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just went through this system because I cannot believe that this man did all this stuff, wrote a book, all of this, and he goes crazy and takes the lives of people. I don't think he ever been sober. I think he's probably been one of them functional alcoholics that can still work. And I ain't telling you something I'm thinking. My father was an alcoholic, rest his soul. And somehow or another, he would always manage to make it home and park that truck. Only by the grace of God that nobody's life was taken.
Right.
So I don't think he ever was sober. I think it was a thing, he tried to show that, like, hey, if I can show him that I'm a better person, and he gets these accolades for writing a book and all that. But I think he was still, if you're going to be sober, you're going to be sober. People that have been sober 10, 15, 20 years, they'll tell you, I haven't had a drink. That's real sobriety.
Right.
I believe this man was still drinking. Okay, why wouldn't he have a license? They don't just take your license for nothing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of red signals on here to me, just from what I've heard. And I certainly could be wrong, but I don't think he ever stopped drinking. I think he just did enough and got by to make it look like he wasn't an addict. Because it's not the first time. If all this time he'd been sober, and he had all these, and you don't have a license, you don't have you're not even supposed to be driving. Why? Maybe because you had another drinking and driving charge. So I mean, it's just sad that these people have lost their life, and they could very well be walking around like me and you, just innocent people. And now this is the way they'll remember the 4th of July, the families and the people out there. This will be the way they remember 4th of July. So whatever the system does with him, he certainly would. And even if you go to prison, they make the hooch that drink, whatever they do, and they still get drunk. And I'm sure he'll find a way in prison to get lit. Just the same way he did here. Went out there seeking, even after he had drinks, he went out seeking for more. And then get behind the wheel. Nobody that means well and who wrote these books and did all this I don't think he did all of that to save people. I think he did it to save his own skin. And I don't ever think he was sober. I think he was still always having, he just handled it. And some people can do. Some people go to work every day. They go to church, sit on the front row. They do everything, but they're functional alcoholics.
Yeah.
And they're successful. And he may have thought he could do the same thing. It's just sad. You know, his family is affected. These people's family. So many people are affected because of one person, because of the actions of one person. You just didn't take 3 people's lives. If the other people survive, they'll probably remain the rest of their lives in wheelchairs, somebody having to take care of them. And the sad thing about it, they send your happy behind the prison. If you stay in jail for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you get used to that. And you're going to live your life. It's just in prison. Sure, they took your life, but nothing compensates for taking somebody's life.
Yeah.
You go someplace else and all you do is just adjust.
Yeah, Q made a thank you so much, Wayne. Q making a good point here. That book represents a man he wished he could have been, but he just wasn't there yet. And like Wayne said, maybe never was there. Yeah, I'm starting to lean towards that way too. Super sad. And someone,
a perfect way to put it, and that's pretty much how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, judging by those pictures, when you showed the first one of him, he was very handsome. But when you seen that picture of him coming out that police station, he looked at a mess. So he looked like he had aged like 10 years before his time. He 44, but he don't look like he's no 44.
Yeah, the whole thing is incredibly sad. Tay, you're up.
My question is, why we not call the taxi, the Uber, or have somebody take you home right there? Because if you drinking alcohol and driving, that's a dangerous combination to do that right there. I have first all condolences to the family first right there, because this is sad right here. On the 4th of July, that we had to celebrate the end about America 200 years yesterday of this right here. It tell me that he shouldn't drive in the first place from beginning, and now he had to face conversation about this right here, because alcohol is the disease. It's bad for you. It's not good for your kidneys. It's not good for your lungs. And you just have to drink some more, and more, until your body is like shut down from that right there.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's never been good right there. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay. Such a serious subject. My heart is devastated for these individuals in that Brooklyn neighborhood. Go ahead. In my opinion, looks like you want to say something.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say congratulations to everybody that dropped it. They know somebody who's been sober. That is a big step. Another thing is, somebody put in the comments, it has to be them that want it. Of course, it has to be them that want it. But also, they need a village. If we haven't learned anything of recent, it's hard to get over any addiction.
Yeah.
But they need somebody that's going to constantly be there, cheering them on and leading them even when they stray. So that's the reason why I say, if you know somebody, do not give up on them for any reason. I don't care how many times you try. You don't know what that final try may do for you. And you may see that change that we want to see. So we can't give up on our people. I won't give up on nobody else I know that got an addiction. I hope y'all won't either.
I like that. I appreciate you saying that. In my opinion, yeah, don't give up. And just because we say don't give up, that doesn't mean you have to be in the throes of it with them every single day. But you can pray for them. You can make sure they have something to eat. some clothes. Like, you don't have to give them money for their addiction, but you can make sure they're good to the best of your ability, and you can definitely pray for them. This is so incredibly sad. And the brother that survived, his mother and his brother being killed on that particular day, it broke my heart. Broke my heart. This man got behind the wheel and just didn't, and then, God bless the one man, the one place that turned him away because he was already so drunk. But again, I think somebody made a good point in the chat. That doesn't mean that particular establishment knew for sure that this man was driving, right? It's just crazy. It's super sad. And, prayers go out to the entire neighborhood because their life is forever changed. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll into the feel good story. Again, I want to say these people are from Brooklyn. I watched so many before I showed them, but I want to say these people, actually, I'm sorry. They're from Baltimore, and it's a husband and wife team doing a beautiful thing. This is a great, great, great feel good story. So let's take a listen.
It takes a lot to master any craft. Time, dedication, attention to detail. Carlos Raba is a master twice over, becoming a James Beard-nominated chef and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt.
From the cocktails to the food, it is a craft. So we have to respect the craft as you respect the craft of Jiu-Jitsu.
Raba is the chef and co-founder at Clavel, an upscale taqueria in Baltimore. Raba came to the United States from Mexico as a political refugee when he was a teenager.
What is the best thing for me to do is create that I miss of Mexico and bring it to Baltimore. Bring those close gatherings that I had with my uncles, those dinners with my grandmother and my aunts, and just build your place where you sit down with your crew and had a beautiful meal, and that's joyful.
The meals he and his staff prepare at Clavel have drawn high praise and a loyal following in the community. So Carlos and his wife Claudia decided to give back. They co-founded Guardian Jiu-Jitsu Baltimore in 2020, around the corner from the restaurant. Yes. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a grappling martial art focused on chokes and submission holds. Adult students at Guardian pay a membership fee, but students between the ages of 6 and 17 years old train for free. Not only that, young students also get a free uniform called a gi.
The thing that's lacking in Baltimore City is the available free resources for these kids after school. Where can they go? Well, can they afford it? No. But where is a safe place for them to go?
Yeah.
And with instructors who will be their mentors and say, hey, just come by and try it out.
They've got about 50 students in the program, and it's still growing. Claudia says it's part of their effort to build a better community.
Kids didn't even say hi, and how that helped them get confident and just make new friendships and relationships from kids all over the city. Yeah. It's just another community forming that's what you need.
Keonta Queen has been bringing her sons Tyson and Keon to Guardian for 3 years. Have you noticed a difference between...
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. In the beginning, I had more challenges with Keon, just kind of understanding his emotions and being able to work through them without being very aggressive. Now it's a complete difference. He kind of thinks more before he reacts to things.
I'm disciplined now. I can defend myself. I think what it's done to me is make me more disciplined, more active, gave me more strength in my life.
After class, young students can go to the restaurant for a free burrito. I didn't learn any jiu-jitsu from Carlos, but he did show me a thing or two in the kitchen. Woo! Teaching me how to make my very own taco. Come on. Making food and teaching martial arts may seem like an unexpected pairing, but to Carlos, the recipe is just right.
There appears to be some similarities between jiu-jitsu and cooking and running a restaurant.
Being a chef is being a leader. From being a black belt, I think is being a leader too. I need to know and how to do every aspect of my kitchen. We have to respect the craft as you respect the craft of jiu-jitsu, which is a martial art. You dal, you have your belt, you have your ranks, you respect your professor, but everything is related.
I mean, but between the restaurant and the gym, they have definitely built something special. But the people who might be happiest are the adults and the students at Guardian who get a sense of pride from supporting each other. I mean, it's the food, spectacular.
You made that taco look good.
Oh, he makes it all by hand. And oh, by the way, in this particular part of Baltimore, he's employing a couple dozen folks, folks who otherwise would not have jobs. So.
Martial arts, great discipline. It's actually such a great
so
thing
good
young
for children
people.
to learn that respect and to listen.
No doubt.
And good food.
Yeah, and good food. All right, thanks, Craig.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss.
I thought that was such a good story. I mean, they're doing a lot for their community, and to allow the children to come to a free program and give them a free uniform and give them some food for free as being part of the program. I just thought, what an amazing couple. God bless them, doing good things for their neighborhood. And I really hope they do extremely well with their restaurant in their gym business. I mean, I just thought it was such a great story. Listen, guys, y'all spent Friday night with me, and I appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, hit your like button on the way out. If you know somebody, and like in my opinion said, thank you for that. In my opinion, there's many people that suffer with some type of abuse, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, or something. Don't give up on your family members. They need you. And this was a very unfortunate and, in my mind, avoidable situation. And now it's not just about this man going to jail. It's about families being devastated, a community devastated, and lives are lost. And for no reason. They was just having a good time out there in their own neighborhood, barbecuing and just trying to have fun. So listen, guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next video. Good night and goodbye, everyone.